In the arena of conflict, where emotions flare and voices clash, the true master doesn't shout, they shine. Niccolò Machiavelli, the 16th century strategist, whose shadow looms over every power play, understood a truth that cuts through the noise. It's not about who's right, but who looks right. To own the spotlight is to control perception, the invisible battlefield where wars are won before a single word is spoken. Picture a tense boardroom in New York City where egos collide over $1 million deal. One guy's red-faced, slamming the table, his voice cracking with rage. Across from him, another sits back, calm as a summer breeze, a faint smile curling their lips. Who's winning? Not the screamer, he's unraveling. The quiet one, with their steady gaze and unshaken poise, commands the room. They're not just in the fight, they're directing it, like a Hollywood star stealing every scene. Machiavelli knew people are shallow. We judge with our eyes, not our hands. In a world of Instagram filters and viral TikToks, Americans are wired for appearances, drawn to those who project strength without breaking a sweat. To own the spotlight, you stay cool when others panic, choosing a coffee shop you know for a tough talk, not their chaotic turf. It's about performance. When your rival threatens, you nod and nod, unruffled, and drop a line like, "Let's keep this chill, all right?" That subtle jab makes them look unhinged, while you glow with control. Think of a courtroom drama on Netflix, where the slick lawyer doesn't yell. They lean in, voice low, and twist the narrative until the jury's eating from their hand. This isn't just strategy, it's psychological alchemy, turning chaos into your stage. Yet there's a quiet unease in wielding this power. You feel the weight of every glance, the thrill of bending perceptions, but also the shadow of manipulation. What does it get to live in the spotlight, to craft a mask so flawless it fools the world? For the ambitious 20-something hustling in LA or the entrepreneur pitching in Silicon Valley, this is the game. Control the frame, and you control the outcome. Machiavelli's genius was knowing that silence screams louder than rage. In a 2025 startup showdown, when your competitor's ranting on X about their game-changing app, you don't clap back. You post a sleek demo that says, "We're already ahead." The crowd sees strength, not strife. To own the spotlight is to embrace this truth. Perception isn't reality, it's better. It's the rush of turning heads, the dread of being exposed, and the power of knowing that in every conflict, the one who shapes the story doesn't just win, they rule. In the heat of conflict, when tempers flare and fists itch to fly, the sharpest minds don't charge, they wait. Niccolò Machiavelli, the cunning architect of power, knew that rushing into battle is a fool's errand, a trap that leaves scars and enemies itching for revenge. To dodge the fight is to master strategic timing, a dance of patience that turns chaos into opportunity. Imagine a Chicago startup showdown where your rival's gunning for the same investor pitch. They're loud, brash, spilling their big ideas on X, desperate to flex. You're silent, watching from the sidelines, letting them stumble over a shaky demo or alienate the room with their ego. When they falter, you slide in with a polished pitch, stealing the spotlight without firing a shot. Machiavelli's genius was knowing that direct confrontation is a losing game. It's the emotional outburst that Americans, hooked on instant gratification, fall for every time. But real power lies in delay, in letting your opponent's arrogance become their noose. This isn't cowardice, it's calculation, a slow-burn thrill that hums with tension. You feel the pulse of restraint, the quiet rage of holding back, knowing every second you wait sharpens your edge. Yet there's a gnawing fear. What if you misjudge the moment? What if you wait too long? For the 20-something grinding in a cutthroat LA, gig economy, or the entrepreneur dodging sharks in Miami, timing is everything. Machiavelli advised starving rival cities of resources rather than storming their gates. Today, that's like ghosting a toxic coworker's emails until they miss a deadline, or letting a social media troll rant until their followers turn. In 2020, when everyone's racing to go viral, dodging the fight means playing the long game. Don't clap back at a diss, drop a better product. The emotional weight of this strategy is a tightrope, exhilaration at outsmarting your foe, dread that they'll strike first. It's the chess move that wins the board, not the bar fight that leaves you bruised. Think of a Netflix anti-hero like Frank Underwood in House of Cards, who never swings first but always lands the knockout. To dodge the fight is to embrace patience as a weapon, to feel the electric calm of knowing your rival's digging their own grave. In a world of knee-jerk reactions, where every slight demands a comeback, this restraint feels alien, almost rebellious. But when you wait, when you let their chaos burn out, you're not just surviving, you're orchestrating. The moment you strike, after days or weeks of silent plotting, is a rush of pure control, a reminder that in the game of power, the one who pauses doesn't just win, they redefine the rule. In the chessboard of conflict, where every move feels like a showdown, the sharpest players don't attack their opponent. They reshape the board. Niccolo Machiavelli, the master weaver of power's unseen threads, taught that you don't fight the person, you rig the game by manipulating their environment. It's a subtle art, a psychological sleight of hand that shifts the ground beneath your rival's feet, leaving them stumbling without knowing why. Picture a high-stakes negotiation in a sleek Manhattan office. Your competitors ready to dominate, all swagger and sharp suits. Instead of sparring, you push the meeting to 7 a.m. when their coffee hasn't kicked in, or suggest a venue where your allies outnumber theirs. Suddenly, they're off balance, their confidence fraying like a cheap thread. This isn't about brute force. It's about control, a quiet power that hums with the thrill of pulling strings no one sees. Machiavelli knew people resist direct pressure, but change their surroundings, and their choices bend to your will. In America's hustle-driven culture, where everyone's chasing the next big win, rigging the game feels like a secret weapon. For the 20-something grinding in Austin's tech scene or the freelancer dodging drama in Brooklyn, it's about tilting the odds. Don't argue with a toxic client. Reschedule their call until they're swamped, or forget to CC their micromanaging boss. In a social feud, invite your rival's frenemy to the same rooftop party and watch alliances crack. The emotional pulse of this strategy is electric. The rush of outsmarting someone, the gnawing guilt of playing dirty, the fear of being caught. It's like scripting a Succession-style power play, where every smirk hides a knife. Yet there's a haunting question. Are you the puppet master or just another pawn in a bigger game? In 2025, when TikTok trends shift in hours and X posts ignite firestorms, rigging the game means controlling the tempo, delay a rival's launch by leaking a harmless rumor, or drain their energy with endless red tape. I once saw a startup founder derail a competitor by accidentally booking their shared co-working space for a team retreat, leaving them scrambling. The beauty of this tactic is its invisibility. You don't raise your voice, you just move the walls until your opponent's trapped. But with every string you pull, there's a flicker of dread. What if someone's rigging the game against you? To manipulate the environment is to wield power without a trace, to feel the heady thrill of control and the shadow of its cost. In a world where everyone's shouting to be heard, the one who reshapes the stage doesn't just win, they redefine what victory means. In the high-stakes game of conflict, where trust is a currency and betrayal a blade, the cunning don't roar, they whisper. Niccolo Machiavelli, the shadow strategist of power, mastered the art of deception. Play weak, then strike hard. It's not about overpowering your rival, but lulling them into a false sense of victory, only to hit with surgical precision when their guard drops. Picture a tense Silicon Valley pitch, where a rival startup founder struts, all bravado, dismissing your quiet presence. You nod, flash a disarming smile, and say, "Wow, you're killing it." They bask in the praise, their ego inflating like a balloon, unaware you've spotted a flaw in their revenue model. Later in the Q&A, you ask one innocent question that unravels their pitch, leaving investors stunned. That's the Machiavelli move, deception as a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. In America's dog-eat-dog culture, where TikTok clout and X-claps fuel ambition, playing weak feels like a secret cheat code. For the 20-something hustling in Miami's nightlife, or the analyst clawing up Wall Street, it's about hiding your strength until the perfect moment. Don't call out a shady coworker's mistake in the group chat, compliment their work, then privately tip off the boss about their oversight. The emotional rush is intoxicating. The thrill of outwitting, the smirk you suppress as they fall into your trap. Yet there's a chill in your spine. Deception's a tightrope, and one slip could expose you. What if they see through the act? It's the House of Cards vibe, where every handshake hides a knife and every lie carries a cost. Machiavelli admired Cesare Borgia, who dined with a rival, all charm and wine, only to have him silenced by dawn. Brutal? Sure. Effective? Undeniably. In 2025, when everyone's chasing viral fame, playing weak means letting your opponent overestimate themselves. Let them tweet their win while you quietly secure the deal. I once knew a freelancer who dodged a client's lowball offer by feigning hesitation, saying, "I'm not sure I'm the right fit." The client, desperate, doubled the rate. The power of deception lies in its restraint, its ability to make your rival feel safe until they're not. But with every feigned smile, there's a flicker of dread. Are you the fox, or are you prey in someone else's game? To play weak and strike hard is to dance with shadows, to feel the electric pulse of control and the weight of its moral toll. In a world where everyone's shouting their strength, the one who hides their claws doesn't just win, they rewrite the story of victory. In the crucible of conflict, where grudges simmer and egos bleed, the wise don't settle for half measures. They end it for good. Niccolò Machiavelli, the cold-eyed architect of power, warned that a wounded enemy is a ticking bomb, poised to return with sharper claws and darker intent. To close a fight decisively is to snuff out any spark of retaliation, leaving no bridge for your rival to cross back. Imagine a cutthroat LA influencer scene where a rival's been shading you on Instagram stories, chipping away at your brand. You don't clap back with petty posts. That's a horrifically move. Instead, you quietly secure an exclusive brand deal, lock them out of the niche, and watch their clout crumble. When they're irrelevant, they're done. No second act. Machiavelli's rule is brutal, but clear. A fight left unfinished is a war reborn. In America's win-or-lose culture, where Wall Street sharks and Silicon Valley hustlers play for keeps, this truth hits hard. For the 20-something grinding in Chicago's gig economy, or the entrepreneur battling copycats in Austin, ending it for good means no loose ends. Fire the toxic employee, don't demote them. Block the ex who stirs drama, don't stay friends. I once saw a startup founder crush a competitor not by undercutting prices, but by buying their domain name and redirecting it to their own site. Savage, final, and airtight. The emotional weight of this strategy is a storm. The icy satisfaction of victory, the hollow ache of ruthlessness, the dread of crossing a moral line. It's like a Sopranos finale, where every loose thread is tied with blood. In 25, when X feuds can tank careers in hours, decisive closure means ghosting the haters, not arguing, or stripping a rival's resources. Think deleting their access to a shared Google Drive before they can download the files. But with every bridge you burn, there's a flicker of unease. What if this makes you the villain? What if karma's watching? Machiavelli didn't flinch. He knew a wounded foe grows fangs, fueled by pride or vengeance. To end it for good is to wield a guillotine, not a bandage, feeling the heady rush of control and the shadow of its cost. It's not about cruelty, it's about survival in a world where second chances breed betrayal. When you cut ties, you don't just win, you rewrite the future, ensuring no sequel where your enemy stars. In a society obsessed with comebacks, where every underdog dreams of a rematch, the one who ends the fight forever doesn't just triumph, they haunt. Decisive closure is the silence after the storm, the moment you stand alone, victorious, knowing the battle won't rise again. Machiavelli's 5 psychological tricks: owning the spotlight, dodging the fight, rigging the game, playing weak to strike hard, and ending conflicts decisively, offer profound lessons for navigating life's battles with strategic finesse. For ambitious American aged 18 to 35, these principles translate into practical wisdom. Perception often trumps reality, so project calm confidence in a heated meeting to sway opinions. Patience is power. Don't rush to confront a rival coworker. Wait for their misstep, then seize the moment. Manipulate circumstances, like rescheduling a tough talk to unsettle an opponent rather than clashing head-on. Embrace deception tactfully. Feign vulnerability to lower a competitor's guard, then deliver a precise countermove. Most crucially, resolve conflicts fully. Cut ties with toxic influences cleanly to avoid future drama. These aren't just tactics. They're a mindset for thriving in a competitive world, from Silicon Valley pitches to Chicago's gig hustle. Yet, with power comes responsibility. Wielding these strategies demands self-awareness to avoid becoming the villain in your own story. In a 2025 landscape of viral feuds and relentless ambition, mastering these lessons means winning not just battles, but the narrative of your life.